My husband doesn't include me in making decisions. So my name is Paul Friedman. I founded the Marriage Foundation, and I'm going to give you some insight. And I'm not going to give you the shortcut version. Well, I will give it to you, but that's not all I'm going to give you. Instead, I want you to take a look at your whole marriage, not just this one aspect. Because this is a manifestation. This is an outcropping of other parts. Now, I'm not saying that he is without fault here. So don't get me wrong. We're going to talk about his fault in doing this, but we're not going to blame him for this, and we're not going to blame you for this. Instead, I'm going to show you from above. We're going to give you the bird's eye view of this problem, and then I'll give you a little guidance. So here's the bird's eye view. Men are naturally sort of closed off. This is where we focus on his flaw. They're closed off. They are built that way because by the male gender, they tend to be more narrow in their vision. They don't want to be interfered with their solutions. And so part of the problem is this natural tendency that men have. It's not just your husband. It's most husbands. They have this inflexibility. When they have an idea, they don't want it messed with, right? And so they're not looking for feedback. And it's very difficult to do much about that. One way, now let me give you the other side before I give you the one way to deal with it. The other side is that women tend, wives, especially wives, because when women are working with each other, they're very supportive and complimentary, they listen well, but for some reason, when women are with their husbands, they want to cut to the chase. I don't know why, but they do that. And maybe you're doing that too. And they're not good listeners, particularly. And it's ironic because this is a huge complaint that women have about men, that they're not good listeners. Yet women routinely cut off their husbands in mid-sentence, try to get to the end of the idea before the man has a chance to explain. And so that's a turnoff for men. And maybe you're doing that. I don't know. I'm not there. But it's quite possible. I would say, I'm making this statistic up, but I would say in 80% of the cases, that's the woman's fault in this. Doesn't mean that the man's fault is not there too, but that's the woman's fault. So now, what do we do about this? I'll tell you that what is the best thing to do is to create the promises of marriage so that these issues that crop up become non-issues. What are the promises of marriage? There's two. And you know these without my saying, except you can't tell me what they are because we're miseducated in our society. So the two promises are, one, that when we get married, we're going to be happier every single day. Happier. It's what marriage is supposed to be, a vehicle for happiness. And two, and you could make these back and forth. The second promise is that you're going to experience unconditional love. By its very definition means that unconditional love is always expanding. It's becoming a deeper love, a greater love every single day. So let's be honest. Are you? Are you experiencing those? Now, clearly you need to get more education about marriage, and that's why you subscribe to this channel, and you could do that right now. And you should, because the more you know about marriage, the happier you will be. The happier you will be, the more love you will experience, the more you know about marriage. Because education is 99% of the problem that almost everyone has in their marriage, a lack of education. So it's only reasonable to learn more about marriage. Obviously, a better way is to get one of my books. And if your marriage were sliding towards divorce and that's not the case in your marriage, then you would probably sign up for the courses. But education is what it's all about. You deserve to have these two promises fulfilled. So what can you do now about getting your husband to include you in the decision-making promise, in the decision-making process? That was a Freudian slip. I hate using that term because I don't like Freud. So, one thing is when he makes a decision, instead of challenging him or just looking at him, ask him to explain to you how he arrived at that decision. And when you ask him, be sincere. Learn about how your husband processes information so he can come to a decision. And listen to it objectively. But not to scrutinize it, but to appreciate it. Because you're married to this man, and that's what you should be doing. You should be appreciating your husband's processes, right? Isn't that part of who he is? Isn't that part of your promise to him? To make his marriage better every day? Which is how it should be. So learn how he did it. And don't offer feedback other than, oh, that's pretty cool. I get it. And when you do this, you will be opening up his door to share more with you because he won't feel scrutinized. He won't feel judged. And I promise you, it may not open him up completely because of the tendency that I spoke of before, but he'll want to share with you because you appreciate him. Isn't this so simple when you think about it? All right, like the video. If you like it. Leave a comment if you'd like. I love comments. And blessings to you, and blessings to your husband, and blessings to your family. Take care.